Welcome everybody, Forever United TV, FUTV. I'm here with Jay. It's Matchday Vibes. We are live overlooking Old Trafford across Salford Quays. Venue for a mass murder later, Jay, or have you got Matchday Vibes and you're feeling optimistic in this one? Welcome along first of all, mate. Glad to have you on your first live show with me, but let's get straight into what we're here for, which is hopefully a turn up, a surprise maybe, but going into a match day, do you feel any different? Do you feel anything like what fans do walking up to the stadium? You get that vibe, you get that feel like this can't go wrong, or have you seen enough?
It's a great question. To be honest, Adam, I've seen enough. It's Groundhog Day for me. I've already come over during the social era because it was a pile of shit. And here I am today to witness the last days of Ten Hag.
Last days of Ten Hag. All right, guys, Josh is on comments as well, so if you've got any questions on the match day for me or Jay, get them in. Get your comments in, how you feel like this game is going to go today, who you want to play. We'll get through predictions later on towards the back end of the show, but hello to all the members and everybody who has joined us already. Josh is there reading all your comments out. He'll let me know when we get something interesting, so make them stand out from the crowd is what we're saying. What are you expecting today from you as a United fan, Jay? What do you need to see?
Okay, so Ten Hag is going to go with his normal 4 at the back, no midfield, 6 up top. And we're left with the Grand Canyon midfield. What I want to see, I want to see the players turn up. There's still a slight hope of Europa League. Win today. Again, win today, guys. Imagine that. Then play Newcastle, nick a point off them. Last day of the season, then Europa League is on the cards. But again, it's a case of if, buts and maybes. But if we go back to what happened in London on Monday night, you would think you're going to get a reaction. The travelling fans went down there, clapped the players off the pitch. That shows the level of respect the travelling fans have for the players. So those players today need to show up and show some respect for the fans. And this season thus far, I think there's been a lack of respect for the fans.
Yeah, there is. Ten Hag touched on it in his press conference. He was saying like he needed, or Manchester United, his team needed to take the crowd's energy and their enthusiasm and their determination, and that's how United should play. But going into today, you want to see that today, Jay. But what if Arsenal score first? Is it then all down to the character? Or do you feel like we need to score first to actually get anything from this game?
Okay, Adam, we score first. You know what's going to happen? We capitulate. We lost a 3-0 lead against Coventry in London a few weeks back.
So you're saying there's no hope either way, then?
I want to. If Arsenal score first, ironically, we might get a reaction because they get the crowd's backs up. We score first. We'll try and sit back, which we're not capable of sitting back because right now we have a very dodgy back four and a keeper that has no confidence. That's been beaten 8 times in 5 games at his front post. We have a keeper that dives and moves like an oil tanker. Again, doesn't dive. He's that fraction too late to dive. So if Arsenal score first, the crowd will get their back up. We might get a reaction. We score first, we'll capitulate.
I kind of feel it. I know. It's like scared to actually score the first goal. It's weird how this team has got you thinking going into games right now because we don't. It's like the completely unknown. Well, we've known this team capitulate before, but going into Old Trafford games now, I don't know what's best. I really don't. It's like Sheffield United scored first twice, went in front against us, we got a reaction against them. We went in front against Burnley and exactly like you said, we sat back and allowed them to come on. I honestly, do you know what? Hail Mary football. That's the only way I see United getting anything. Let's go. You'd say it's scary to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal because they're so good, but it's the only way we competed against Liverpool twice. The game could go either way, but do you know what? I think the crowd would probably appreciate that fear factor, not having that, rather than playing scared, because there's no room, I don't think, within this fan base for players who are looking at this and playing scared today. Josh, have we got any comments in there quickly on what me and Jay have been on about so far?
I mean, the only comments we've got is people asking you two to have an arm wrestle, to be fair. That's all we're getting.
Shut up. Have you seen the size of this guy's arms?
Well, do you know what?
Seriously?
Someone said that you've got bigger arms than Jay.
No, I've not got bigger arms than Jay. I don't think so anyway. But whoever said that, thank you. I'll take that. That's like a big positive for the day so far. But no, Jay's beasts in his retro United. Love that shirt, by the way. Anything else in there relevant to the game?
Yeah, we did have a comment from David Young saying, I'd play Ahmad from the start. I would be really fed up if he starts Rashford.
Yeah, we'll get onto that next. Actually, go on, Josh.
It's literally just flooded with people asking for you two to have an arm wrestle. So
No,
there's
it
not much else at the minute. So
cannot be
get your comments
that
in,
way.
guys. I reckon if we
Seriously.
reach 500 likes in this live, I think you two could have an arm wrestle at the end.
I'm going on holiday soon. I don't want to be going out injured. You
Right,
know
guys,
what I mean?
500 likes and we'll do it.
Yeah, you've got a serious challenge on your hands. How
There
many
you
is
go.
in there with us right now? I can gauge how this is going to
We've
go.
got
here.
300 at the minute, so we can easily hit 100 likes instantly if everyone drops a like right now.
It's up to you guys that then. You go from there, okay? Right. All right. But yeah, moving into what someone just said there, Ahmad starting. Honestly, I'm just going to come out and say it now, Jay. I don't think it's going to happen. I know what Ten Hag's like. If Rashford has got any sort of chance of playing, he's going to make him play. I talked about in 400 appearances yesterday. Credit to Marcus for getting to that stage. It's no mean feat to get 400 appearances at the age of 26 for multiple clubs, never mind one. I did agree with Ten Hag on that one, but like, what can actually on this? If there is a game, is this the game today for Marcus Rashford to try and show the fans that, you know what, the season's over, I'm still going to give everything? Or for you personally, you said you've given up on anything coming from Rashford, but do you think he can appease or appeal to the fans in a performance today?
Look, every manager has their favourites. Jose had Fellaini, Maguire.
I'd take Fellaini right now.
Well, Fellaini beside Menu, prime Fellaini beside Menu today, you wouldn't be averse to it. But look, every manager has their favourites. Ole had Maguire, and clearly Rashford has Ten Hag in his back pocket, because we discussed many times, is he in his contract, if fit, got to play, or is it just Ten Hag feels obliged to play him? So Rashford's going to start today. He's probably going to jog about Old Trafford, and he, as I said in the last show, he might actually score and run to the fans with his little finger to his lips.
I've got a bet today that Rashford scores today. I just got that. He loves playing against Arsenal. I think he scored his last 3 games against Arsenal, actually. It's one of the games where he actually turns up, but again, it's like goals aren't everything. It's attitude, it's putting the work rate in, like you said, for the team. Like defensively today, we're going to have to be on it, and I would feel a lot more comfortable if Anthony or Ahmad was playing instead of Rashford in that department.
But look, Ten Hag has had, 4 games in a row now to start Ahmed. He hasn't done it.
No.
He hasn't done it, so logic would dictate Ahmed's going to be on the bench. Like, if you're Ahmed's agent, you're looking at this thinking, unless there's a change of manager, get out of that club. Because I think Ahmed's he's got a fair rub of the green. So today, Rashford, I think he'll start. And I think your bet, if he scores, we'll give him credit. But the English media, as usual, are going to big song and dance about 400 appearances. And look, he's at the club since, the 5 years? He's going to 400 appearances. So I'm not patting him on the back for that. I pat him on the back for what he does on the pitch.
That's it. It's all about what happens on the pitch. I said this, results are the only thing that can argue any case for any player. The manager, the coaches, I've said this all yesterday. Everyone's culpable for this season, not just the manager, every single player. There is some that have put in more effort than others, but ultimately, Jay, it comes down to the team. It's like Bruno can't walk away and say, look, I've done more than anyone else. You're supposed to try and drag everyone else with you. It's supposed to be a team effort. I know that comes down to the coaches and trying to get this team together, but there is no excuse for any player to walk out and not give everything. After what you said, after the Palace especially, we're expecting some form of turnaround in effort at least today. And it's the unknown. I don't know how this game is going to go. I fear if United capitulate in the first 10 minutes, the crowd will get on the players' backs and they'll just fall apart. But if we do score or something happens, this atmosphere can carry a United team. We've seen it against Liverpool. Anyone in there, Josh, has got anything hopeful, I would say, for today, comment-wise?
Yeah, we do. We've got one from Lee Dixon saying Arsenal are going to crumble today. Can't wait to see it.
Oh, well, do you know what? From their side, I said it yesterday, we'll get Jay's opinion on this in a minute as well, but there is a chance that Arsenal bottle the occasion because City have gone back top after yesterday's easy performance against Fulham, so that is a chance. Any others in there, buddy?
Yeah, we've got one from Patrick saying Rashford's back fit, so he's got that must-play clause. Ahmad can't compete with that.
No,
Fair point.
No matter what you do, you can't.
Others just seem to be on the same wavelength. I think that this could get ugly for us today. Yeah, worried for us.
Who, Jay, today is your hope, player-wise?
That's what you said. There's no my or I in team.
Yeah.
And Bruno has tried manfully to carry this team on his back all season. And let's be fair to Bruno, he hasn't had his best season, but he does try over and beyond to drag the team. But one player doesn't make a team, and I think right now we're a team of individuals playing as individuals, and it's manifested on the pitch, and that is reflective of opposition in the league.
How do you change that as a coach? What's your approach? So you're going into, you can see the talents there. How do you approach this? Let's take prima donna syndrome out of this. If you're in the changing room before the game today, what do you say to this team after that season and the pressure that they're under now? As a manager, how do you galvanise a team full of individuals?
I tell them basically, gentlemen, this season you've been an embarrassment to yourself, your families, the club, and the fans. Go out today and show me once and for all what you got as players. Because if you don't, even if I'm here next season, you won't be starting for me.
We say that. I would say exactly the same. I'd read the right act. And then you're basically bottling it because of the prima donna syndrome that would kick in then. Because you shouted at these players, and heaven forbid, you should shout at a Premier League footballer these days and put him in his place. This is the situation we're in. I could see this at other clubs. Like, you watch Pep Guardiola and how he handles City players. Not afraid to drop anyone. If anyone's dropped in that City side, they respect the manager's decision and they move on. They play better and come back stronger every single time. It just baffles me. And I think this has got a massive part to do with how the football club have gone behind previous managers' backs as well. We're not just saying this is Ten Hag. Other managers have had raw deals, and the club have run the team rather than the manager running the team, I feel, at a lot of the occasions. And Ten Hag has come and deliberately tried to change the culture of the football club. Worked in certain areas, but right now, with the changeover, I think it's worked against Ten Hag because everyone's looking at a fresh start all of a sudden, looking past him. Whereas I don't know how this season would have panned out if we'd have still just had the Glazers. And it was a weird one for me to sort of like try and figure out if it would have been any different. But ultimately, it's down to him to try and get something out of each player. And he's just not been able to do it, whether it be through coaching methods, whether it be through how he's handled players individually, because that's been a massive complaint. But when it comes down to it, Jay, like, Ten Hag cannot change the attitude of these players when they walk over that white line. This comes down to what I've said at the top of this. Show some pride today. Pride, application, they're the two big ones for me. Quickly, I'll come to Josh in a second because he's got some comments there. But is there one word you would say going out on that pitch today to them players before?
You know, they're pride. Pride for yourself, your profession, your family, and the fans watching, paying their money today. And I just don't believe these players have enough pride in the jersey, enough pride in themselves to perform at the level it's required. It goes back to, yeah, you said it, pride. Show some pride.
Josh, what have we got there, mate? Comments?
We've just got a comment for you both. Question from Stephanie. Adam and Jay, who plays centre-back partnership today and why?
Oh, do you know what, Jay? I'll go. Actually, no, you go first on this because I think everyone heard mine last night. So you've got, and we'll give you the options. None of the centre-backs are available apart from Johnny Evans, but we've got Casemiro and we've got Scott McTominay. I think they're the ones that people think are probably, well, obviously Casemiro, but Scott McTominay's got a shout now to play centre-back. Where would you go?
Do you know what? We've got combined age probably in the mid-80s. I reckon us two big lads today at the back that will actually tackle somebody, show some pride, cover the ground, and can play a simple ball from the back to midfield and transition. That's all we need. So two better boys like us at the back today wouldn't be a bad shout. But who do we have? Scott McTominay at the back beside Johnny Evans, vis-a-vis Fat Cass. There's no decision to make there, boys. Like, we don't have a functioning back four. Josh, I'm lost here. I cannot pick two centre halves today because obviously we're unavailable for selection.
Well, do you know what?
Because we're too slow.
We've got a comment from Malps, actually, as you say, in that same play, Adam and Jay centre-back. So I think everyone's in agreement.
Honestly, guys, how about this one? Back three with two wing-backs of Wan-Bissaka, Dalot and Johnny Evans. Pack out that midfield, play with wing-backs and two centre-forwards. Dare I say it, try and change the formation, Eric.
Eric to play two centre-forwards and leave his 4-6 formation. So you're looking then that he plays Rashford up top beside Hoyland. Rashford won't pass the ball to Hoyland from inverted wing. he's not going to make a intricate 5-yard pass with him a centre forward. I don't think Ten Hag has the balls to change formation today. He's trying to hold into his formation. That's what he's going to play. He's not going to change on him.
No, that's the worry for me then, though, because he's going to play that 4-3-3 with Bruno sat behind the front three, the two holding. I would hope today. One holding player today, I think, is too risky. Sometimes you just have to accept that you're playing against a better team. He has said this in the press conference. So if there was ever a chance to change, I think he would get a lot of leeway with the fan base for changing up, going a bit defensive. Like, no one's going to moan at Ten Hag if he tries to go a bit more defensive and frustrate Arsenal today. It's just what happens when we concede if they do break through. And again, that plan B comes into play. He's got to be adaptable, and I feel like playing a packed out midfield in front of a back three, I don't think today we can go and try and pass out from the back, Jay. I don't. If it goes long today and it goes out wide, shout for putting Scott McTominay further forward and playing Bruno back and maybe go a target man. So, I mean, can you actually convince these players to actually cross a ball and just play some strict old school football with a proper centre forward in there? So, I mean, because as much as Arsenal have been great defensively this season, it's been against technical teams. You get out wide, you put that ball into the box, get some crosses in, let's see what we can get on the end of, because I can't see us passing through that back line.
Adam, we've been asking for this since January. You've done many shows, you said, right, it's now to have one game per week. He's a week in the training ground to change your tacticals, to have a plan B, a plan C, and even a plan D. We've seen no discernible change. He still does not play wingers that put across in the box. He did old school football. And I wouldn't be averse to having Hoyland up front today beside Scott McTominay. Scott's limited, but Scott has an eye for goal. He has got an eye for goal. He's a limited player. You don't want him playing midfield beside Manu because what's he going to offer you? Not a whole lot. So, again, fans are probably going to lose it here when I say, you know what I do today? I would go old school today. I would go 4-4-2, literally fucking, pardon my French, pie and chips football, because that's what Arsenal won't expect. Arsenal come to Trafford today, bit between the teeth. The pressure's on them. The pressure is not on United today, ironically.
No.
Arsenal today can win possibly a title and put pressure back on Man City. They draw today or lose, their title is over, because City have Spurs coming up. And you're trying to tell me Spurs are not going to bend over and lose to City if Arsenal can win a title. So the pressure's on Man City today, not us.
Arsenal.
Sorry, apology.
It does scare me.
Yeah, it does.
I've had enough bleeding Arsenal. They won't throw City on it as well.
So Arsenal last season, when the pressure was on, what happened with Arsenal? They capitulated. So how will Arsenal cope under pressure today? The media aren't talking about that.
Do you know what? It goes back to the old days. I know you don't get away with it. You don't get away with it the same these days. But there's a few players that need a good kicking out there today on the Arsenal side. And see how they react. See how the nerves are. Get into them early doors, test the referee out, see if you can get in amongst it and start getting into their heads a little bit, because they've got a lot of technical players. I don't see Arsenal as that battling up for a fight. I know Declan Rice is there and he is massive for them and been the difference for me this season, but there's certain players up front I think United can handle today and treat a certain way. It's whether or not we're up for it. Do you know what? It's like swallowing pride in a way and playing a different way. Sometimes I know we have to play a united way. We have to sort of act like we are that big team. But there's no harm in dealing with a better team and going and accepting that you are not technically as good and playing a bit of old school football and kicking them about the park like we used to get done to us. It's like, do you know what? At the end of the day, we get a result. No one's going to actually kick up a stink about what happened on the pitch. It's like we've got a result and we stopped Arsenal winning the league. Yeah, it's horrible because we might have given it to City, but we can't think about that. We have to think about United. And we're walking away from Old Trafford today with a win, played absolutely shocking, played some old school, dirty tactic football. I'm not going to I'm going to fly an F-bomb, mate. I don't care. I just want the result right now. And you know what? It will just show that we can mix it and we have got another way of playing. And you know what? Sometimes you have to just get down and dirty, roll your sleeves up. Josh, anything in there, pal?
Yeah, we've got a super chat from Tom Porter saying, what time will you be at the hot dog stand?
We'll be there probably. We've got some stuff to do with Talk Sports, so we're probably going to be in there around about 3:30, mate. So.
And then we've got a question. We've got two questions for Jay from the Honest Tiger saying, Jay, would you sell Mount and would you have kept Sabitzer?
First of all, I wouldn't have bought Mount in the first place. Champions League winner with Chelsea. I wouldn't have bought him. We didn't need him. He was never going to put Bruno out of the team. Sabitzer, for the money we were offering him, I would have kept him. A squad player, you knew what you were going to get. And if he was option B, playing beside Menu over an overweight Casemiro, yeah, he would have been a better option.
It's hindsight's a fantastic thing, isn't it? Sabitzer, who has had an injury-free season playing at Dortmund. I said this the other night to someone regarding Sabitzer. I'm not fully on the Sabitzer train. I just feel like he's had a good season at Dortmund. They finished 5th, so he couldn't have been fantastic. But again, it was a squad player when United really needed players in the first team. And we bought Mount and spent a third of our budget on a player that's, even without injury, was never going to get into this team ahead of Bruno. And that's what I could not understand. So, I'd have saved money for Manana, I'd have saved money for Mason Mount, and I've gone out and bought Declan Rice, because that's a player that we did need. But again, recruitment-wise, I would love to know what Ten Hag had said to the hierarchy at United, and I'd love to know what his targets actually were, because Mason Mount is a Ten Hag player, and so is Onana. We know it is. Is it down on him, or is there parts of Myrtle factor in this that stopped him from getting the best players? Because he has said it with wanted Kane as well. But I just don't know which way it went. Like, Ten Hag did that interview at the start of the season where he said, look, I am in charge of the transfers. That's the only way I would work at a football club. I need my say. I'm not too sure if that's necessarily true now, because he's all but willing, according to him, to work alongside Ineos and be the coach and let them do that side of things as well. But it all comes down to, and like, we've slagged Ten Hag off enough, but the recruitment side there, Jay, like, I feel is probably the one thing that every single Manchester United fan can agree on. I think me and you can agree on. Like, it has been piss poor, and I think we're getting the back end of it now, and everyone's just at the wit's end, and we're in a position where we're going to lose a load of money because no one wants them deadbeat players that we already spent fortunes on.
I touched first on the Onana and Mount, so it's 100 million gone there straight away on two players that for this season we did not need. Signed Hoyland for 70 odd mil as his first choice striker. Signed him with a back injury, I hasten to add, and he's had 2 injuries this season. So you know yourself, you get a back injury early doors, it's almost going to affect your hamstrings as the year goes on, and we had no backup striker. So again, I think in time, when Ten Hag is free to give an interview and say what really happened, I think he'll come out in the wash. Were the re-signings, did he really want them, or was it the hand of John Murto and the Glazers getting involved in transfers and ruining them? Like, who did he really want? He was never going to get, I don't believe, a top-class striker. He wasn't going to get Harry Kane. But you touched on there Declan Rice. Declan Rice, 100 mil vis-a-vis Onana and Mount. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's it. Guys, let us know what you think on that one as well. Would you have spent the money elsewhere? I definitely would. I think United in the summer need to buy 2 definite players that are going to be coming straight into the first team, and hopefully this new approach from Ineos, hopefully it's a new approach, actually does come into play. Any more decent comments in there, Josh?
Got one from Byron Francis saying there's literally no chance today. The anger will be immense after the match. Ten Hag sacked on Monday.
I mean, what does it take for Ten Hag to be sacked? If he is a bad result today, is it an absolute humiliation? Is that the only way he gets sacked? I personally can't see him going unless he gets an absolute drubbing today and the outcry is just too much. But, I mean, getting into the game, like, what do you think? Like, where's this game going today score-wise, Jay?
I'm going to go with Arsenal 3-1.
3-1.
It's going to pain me to sit.
How's it panning out? How do you reckon that's going? We score first, they score, consolation for us. Which way?
I can think your bet with Rashford scoring.
Yeah.
I think we'll score first. I think it'd be Rashford. Again, people now don't rush to the bookies and quote me on that, but I think we'll score first. It'd be Rashford.
It's all on Jay.
And we'll do what we normally do. We'll sit back, capitulate, and later on in the game, the Arsenal attack will just run riot and 3-1.
Who's the biggest threat today, Arsenal? Who are you worried about most?
Odegaard.
Running the show, basically.
Just literally Odegaard doing Tom Brady running the show. That's what I'm worried about today.
Yeah, because you look at the forward line, like I feel comfortable in handling Jesus. I feel comfortable. Xhaka, Dalot's done a job on him early on in the season already. We've got that there. If Wan-Bissaka turns up today, he's hard one-on-one, so their individual flair doesn't count for much there. But Declan Rice, Odegaard, that midfield. I know exactly where you're going with that, because that is where this game is going to be run today. And it's if United can have an absolute worldie and Arsenal have an off day, because even when they're average, they're decent, that Arsenal midfield. And I think that's where their season has changed. They've backed up that great partnership in defence with one of the best defensive midfielders on the planet, I think, in Declan Rice, and then giving the freedom to your man Odegaard. And I feel like that's where they have progressed this season more than probably anyone else.
I think Declan Rice for Arsenal, for Arteta, he was that missing link.
Yeah.
And as you said, he does free up Odegaard. Goes back to your earlier point, you said go old school football. Early doors, go out and leave your studs on Odegaard. Let him know you're there. Like you put a tackle on Odegaard the first 5 minutes, you're not getting a booking. You're getting a turning off. You do it third time, you're getting a booking. That's 3 times at attack on Odegaard. All of a sudden, Odegaard is getting the little hesitation to play his pass, look around him. So that's why we do today. I target Odegaard. It sounds vicious, but that's what we do.
I'm going to just check with Jay now. It's old school. I'll tell you exactly how I would tackle. What tackle would you do? The sneaky get away with tackle. What would your tackle be?
I stand in his instep.
Do you know what mine would be? Mine would be the dead leg with the knee. I'd go right in the side of his thigh with my knee. Oops, sorry mate, there's nothing I can do about that, but that hurts. That one, I think, does last a little bit longer. He can't kick the ball normally for about 10 or 15 minutes.
Nice one.
And it puts him off. That's what I would do. I'll be right in the side of him there. Knee. Oh, sorry, just running. No studs. Get away with it. That's my little bit of dark arts that I would kick. I've done that one a few times, actually. I'm just like, fuck off. Like, you little I don't want to get into it, but like, them little snidey, little skillful players that get away with murder, I'll give you something to die for. There you go, bang, knee right into the side, right into the thigh, and then dead leg him. Let's see how you kick the ball for the next 10 minutes, mate.
So guys in the comments today, you're playing CDM. What's your first tackle on Odegaard? Get in the comments. This should be good.
Yeah. What would you do to sort of hamper their talisman?
Well,
because he is.
Lads. Just give something that's good. Go and leave a mark on him. You can't get sent off or booked. First 5 minutes, what do you do?
That's it. And guys, start telling me what we did it before. We got the score predictions in on the show last night, but if anyone who wasn't watching that last night, how many have we got in the room right now?
We've got 813 in at the minute,
nice,
and just at 200 likes as well.
Well done, guys, well done. So everybody, it's time to get your comments in on how you see this game going as well. I want you to tell me what the score's going to be, what the scorers are going to be, and a little bit of a description on how you feel like this game is going to go. Are they going to dominate possession? Are they going to be all over United? Are we just going to catch them on the counter-attack? Things like that. Who's your player that you've got? Give me a player that you've got an eye on for United today. Who are you watching just to see? Like the obvious ones, I know, but is there anyone out there that we've not talked about that much that you're watching today just to see? Because the summer's coming. Is it one of them players that you think is fighting for his career at Manchester United? One of them players that actually you feel is progressing? Who your eyes on while you're here at Old Trafford today, Jay?
Dalot. I think he's had his best season so far for the club. I think thus far he's been a player of the season. And on the previous managers, I don't think Dalot got a fair rub of the green. So Dalot, to me, that's what I'm going to watch. I almost like watching fullbacks because I played fullback many moons ago. So Dalot for me, that's what I'm going to watch today, because I know next season, irrespective of who's manager or what formation we play, Dalot's going to be a starter. So he's the guy you want to watch today.
Yeah, Jay is a fullback. Whoa, that'd been a frightening thought.
Long time ago.
That'd have been a frightening thought, it would. Obviously, I was that big old centre-back, but I'll give my pick today. Do you know what? Mine today is going to be Garnacho. Do you know what? He's been off a little bit recently, a lot of pressure put on him. But I'm going to have my eyes on Garnacho today, because this is a big stage, this is a big moment. And you know what? A lot of our youth players, it's great right now, but in the past, in the last 5 years especially, we've seen, and we've been talking about him in detail quite a lot of shows, our youth players now, they're on the wrong side of the news. So we're looking at our young players coming through now, and this is the one positive this season, the younger players. This is a big game today for him. He had that goal disallowed wrongly, I thought. He was onside against Arsenal early on in the season, but he has come in for a lot of criticism from match-going fans I've seen, and not many people have picked up on this, but he has taken it, his decision-making and things like this. When that ball does go up front, when that ball does come into that Arsenal half, we need to be on top of decision-making. We need to cling on and take advantage of every single opportunity that we get in this game. So mine is Garnacho today. I'll be watching him, not through because he's been bad or anything like that. I just want to see how he approaches the game today, how he reacts to that criticism. Because did you see his face? Like, he was stood there like gobsmacked with them Crystal Palace game, with them fans clapping him at the end. Like, they know they were bad and they were gutted about it, and you could see it in his face. But it's like he was shocked. And you know what? I feel like that Argentinian blood inside him is like, you know what? F off. I'm going to go out there next week. I'm going to absolutely show these fans what I'm made of. Like, no one's against him or anything, but I just feel like he, more than anyone on them pictures after that Palace game, looked distraught. Absolutely distraught. And I just feel like, you know what? Give me some of that Argentinian grit and determination and anger. I want to see that today. And that's like what Martinez was doing. Like, I want to play, boss. Let me play. Smart decision from Ten Hag. Definitely not starting Martinez today. I'm 100% behind him on that, because we don't want to rush this guy back. We're going to need him for the other games coming up. But that there, play me. If you've only had 2 training sessions, I want to play. Like, no. Take the decision out of his hand. But he's there and he's willing to. We need some of that South American dark art skullduggery, I think, today, mate.
We touched on Garnacho before, and my biggest problem with Garnacho is Garnacho does not have a senior wing in the club to look up to and aspire to be. He's 19 years of age and already he's first choice. And I would never go in hard on young players learning their trade. I take your point on decision making. I take your point on the fans in the ground getting on his back. But a player's come through the academy. That is your first choice pick. And I think last Monday night, I think the penny dropped with Garnacho. This is what the club means to these fans. And that's going to be your player with that Argentinian mentality that will almost play with his heart in his sleeve. He'll almost give 100%. So I think the fans need to back off him and support him. And I think in 3-4 years' time, Garnacho will be up there with Ryan Giggs.
Ooh, that is a shout and a half. I'm just going to do something a bit different here, actually. Graham, come in here. I'm going to get you on this live. I'm going to get Graham. He's in the background there, Graham, today. Come on this side here, mate. Come on. This one, mate. Come on. Dancing. All right, Graham is in on the chat today. I'm just going to ask the same question to you, Graham. Player you're looking out for United today. You're watching the game today. Who are you looking at?
Probably Mr 400.
Marcus,
Well,
if he starts,
will it make a difference? You know,
we were just talking about
names
that
in
then.
lights.
We were just talking about Marcus Rashford, then Graham on the side of, like, if there was a chance for him to actually show some of the fan base that still think he has got a future at this football club, like, he does want something, because this is a nothing game for United today. This is more about Arsenal's game. We know where we are in the league. We're preparing for the final, it feels, right now. But I just get that horrible feeling sometimes when games like this come around, where it's like everyone's nursing themselves through to a final and they're not giving everything. Is there an opportunity here today for him?
Well, I sort of briefly heard you talking about the manager and about what he'd say in the dressing room, and what they'll say is it will be about European qualification, because it's still not out of the question. Yeah, it's in Chelsea's hands now, I believe.
Yep.
So, you know, they've got to rely on Chelsea buggering it up again. So I think they'll still play that, still take that angle, even though we probably know it's now. They've handed it over, haven't they?
I'm going to drop you on the spot here again, Graham, before we finish up. Score prediction?
I think 2-2.
Desmond 2-2.
Yeah.
He's going with a Desmond. Graham, cheers. We are going to finish up there. Just quickly, I want to get into the comments if anyone else has got any questions before we finish up. For me, Jay, or even Graham right now, he's jumped in as well. What have we got there, Josh?
Just at the minute, score predictions. We've got a lot of 4-1 score predictions.
For United?
To Arsenal.
Oh.
We've got the odd United win, but most of it's quite
you would say
realistic.
I was just about to use that word. That's what we are on this channel. We know what we're watching. We say it as we see. We'll get behind the boys today. Hopefully they can turn up and get in amongst Arsenal and get a result. We're not expecting performance, but we're expecting a bit of application, and we're expecting them to really want to play for this shirt today, because it is a big game no matter which way you look at it. It's bigger for Arsenal, but this is a real chance for United to stand out. Last game of the weekend, everyone's watching it again, and everyone's watching to see if United capitulate again. That's why the rest of the world's watching right now. So why don't you just go out there and show the rest of the world, you know what, F you, we are still fighting, we have still got something, and we can ruin Arsenal's season right now. It literally has got that on it, and that is what United can be playing for. Jay, thanks for coming on, meeting us before the game. We're going to be outside Old Trafford doing our thing after the game, but first live show, Well done, mate. Appreciate you.
Enjoyed it. Josh, how are the likes going?
We're only on 200. Well, I say only. We're on 242 at the minute.
They bottle
We've
it
got
as much
800
as
in
we
the
do.
room though. So I mean, if everybody just likes it, then we get 500.
Don't piss this man off. Slash
Yeah.
the like button.
Mate, they're trying to make me arm wrestling
Like
for
now,
a
guys,
like
500
size.
likes, and we
That's
can
all,
get the
yeah.
arm wrestle. You got 30 seconds for 500 likes.
Yeah.
Can you do
I
it?
heard that bit.
Yeah, I don't fancy my chances, so like,
You don't fancy
finished
chances.
it.
Don't give.
We're finished. But no, guys, make sure you do give the video a like. Subscribe to Forever United TV. Really appreciate you all tuning in before the game. Stay tuned to Talk Sports, social media stuff and everything later. We're all on there doing our bit as well. And yeah, we'll be outside Old Trafford, of course, giving our verdicts and our opinions after the game as always. Me, Jay, Graham, a few other guys. We're all here today, full gang. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and like to the channel if you're loving the content. And we'll see you after the game. Here we go.